Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So today I've primarily been concentrating on eggs. So I've been out shopping today to farm foods. So as we know, there's been rules put in place in certain shops that you can only have a dozen eggs, 2 packs of half a dozen eggs, and no more per purchase. So I thought today the one thing I'm not organised with is my eggs at the moment. Although some people might think I've been a bit greedy today, um, I have to put that aside and not allow that to trigger me because I needed eggs. So if Mr. Wallflowers can just pan down and show you the eggs. So I've got 108 eggs altogether here. Um, so today I actually purchased 6 packets of 15 eggs. So I popped along to Farm Foods and I went to the till first and I asked the gentleman on the till, am I restricted to how many packets of eggs I buy? And he said, no, I can take as many as I want. Fair enough. So I took 6 packets. So each tray here has 30 on, so that's 60. Another 30 is 90, another 15 is 105, and 3 eggs. So I've got 108 eggs altogether. Now, generally, we can run at 2 trays at a time in the fridge. We keep ours in the fridge, we choose to, but a lot of people in Europe and in Britain actually just keep them on the side. And there's something in the way that they're done for the anti-salmonella that apparently us Brits and Europeans don't have to keep them refrigerated. I personally just choose to keep them refrigerated. My parents did it, and I'm used to having the eggs in the fridge. It's just how I prefer it. So, as you can see, I've got more than I normally have. Now, I normally buy my eggs at the food initiatives where I do the bulk of my shopping, and I can generally get 30 eggs at a time for around £2. They're struggling at the moment, and there've been no eggs in for a while, so I did have to do this stock up today. So, how am I going to get through this usage? I'm not. I'm literally going to keep the 2 trays in the fridge. Like, we're not going to have an egg fight, Mr. Wallflowers. No, we're not. Unless you want to clean the mess up afterwards and get rid of the smell. They get worse, don't they, these men, as they get older? No, no egg fight today, Mr. Wallflowers, I'm afraid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the 230 trays, keep them in the fridge as per usual, and the other 3 lots of 15. There's 2 ways I can do it. Now, as I said in yesterday's video, this is the time, this is the learning curve, this is where we have to pause for thought and think how we're going to store things. So I've been looking at dehydrating eggs. I've never done it before. As with a lot of things, it is a learning curve. So I'm going to experiment with the 3 loose eggs. I've watched several videos and I've read a little bit about it. So instead of scrambling them first, pre-cooking them, I'm actually just going to blend them in the hand blender and get them all mixed together. And then, because my dehydrator at the moment, it's making a noise, and I've got some fruit leather just coming to the end now, just drying. So it's nearly finished. I will be making a video on the fruit leather. So as you can see, the dishes have a circle in the centre. So I'm going to have to wrap the whole plastic dish. You can still see me vegetables underneath. I haven't cleaned it yet. I'm going to have to wrap the whole thing in cling film to stop the eggs from pouring through. I shall literally just pour the blended egg raw on the surface. As I've said before, my dehydrator only goes up to 70, 75. I always get confused. 70 Celsius. So it's going to take a good 18 hours or so for me to dry those eggs. So this experiment is going to take me a few days. If I feel that that first experiment went well, I shall then do a whole packet, get the trays all set up and do the whole packet. And then I shall follow that on in consecutive days. Once it's dehydrated, powder it, and I shall keep it in the jars. I'll put an oxygen absorber in, and then I'll use the jar vacuum sealer, and they'll be safe for anything from 2 to 5 years. So we go through a lot of eggs. If we can't manage to get more eggs after this because everyone's done what I've done, or there just isn't enough there, then we're just going to eke it out and have to make that egg powder last us as long as we can. Now that egg powder can be used to make scrambled egg, can be used in bacon, can be used as you would an egg, but obviously you can't just eat the powder because you don't want botulism because it has to be cooked. So yeah, it'll be bacon or scrambled egg really that we'll use it for, which is quite, or omelets, yeah, omelets or anything like that. So, egg fried rice and anything along those lines. So we'll still be able to have the flavours of the egg that we like. Just it can't be used. You won't get fried egg, boiled eggs, obviously, out of it. So it'll be scrambled, omelette, or baking with it. In the meantime, we'll probably eat a lot of fried eggs and a lot of boiled eggs, so we get our fill of them before we're left without. But yeah, so I've got 103 eggs, did I say? 108 eggs, and these 3 packs primarily will be experimentation that hopefully we learn pretty quickly on our feet. We can use them to store in jars. Now, although there's 45 eggs there, they will fit in one large jar. So we'd be happy with that. It's not taking up a lot of storage space and it'll give us 45 eggs to lean back on. So at a tablespoon at a time, which will probably equate to, I think 2 tablespoons is an egg, isn't it? So 2 tablespoons at a time. We've got 45 uses of it, so quite happy with that. Yeah. So farm food, you can get more than 2 packs at a time at the moment. I don't know how long before they actually start to put the restrictions on. When I actually went to buy the eggs, I've been there and bought eggs before when I couldn't get them at the food initiatives. Normally we've been able to get 30 eggs for £3 compared to the £2 we pay in the food initiative. So we've always hung off until we've needed them. So today it's actually cost me £7.96 to buy 4 lots at a time, which equates to £3.50, 1.99 per pack. So it's near enough £2 for 15 rather than what I'd pay at the food initiative for the whole 30. So yeah, the prices have gone up. I've paid through the nose for these today. I'll probably pay a lot more elsewhere, but for what I'm used to, I've paid through the nose for them today. But I need to learn to powder them. I need to learn to dehydrate them. I need to be able to store them. But another way of preserving them that I came across today after researching was you can get Vaseline pretty cheap. Just the normal Vaseline we rub on our lips, etc. And if you can gently take time and coat each egg with the Vaseline, storing your chicken on one of these trays or whatever kind of, I say in your chicken, I mean the chicken dish people normally store eggs in on the counter. I'm sure you understand what I mean. If you can take each egg individually and rub it with Vaseline. You can store them on your surface, and they will last for anywhere up to 4 to 6 weeks. You do have to be careful because Vaseline's slippy and you could drop and waste the Vital that you need. But if you're looking at a way to preserve them without electricity, you're not planning to dehydrate, keep some Vaseline in reserve and have a go and see if you can rub some Vaseline on them and make them last longer. Uh, yeah, do the egg test. If you've had them for a couple of weeks, do the egg test. You just fill the sink with water or fill your jug with water, place the egg in. If it floats, it's safe to use. Now, the opposite way around. If it floats, it's no good to use. The egg's gone bad. If it sinks to the surface, it's safe to use. And that's how to test your eggs in the water. Whilst we still have the electricity and the use of the freezer, you can always crack an egg, either take an ice cube tray and fill the ice cube tray and freeze them that way, or you can whisk them, place them in a Ziploc bag. You can freeze them in a Ziploc bag, or if you initially freeze them in the ice cube tray, once they're frozen, tip those out into the Ziploc bag so you've got little cubes of egg, which is an egg each. Refill that ice cube box and keep filling your Ziploc up till you've got plenty of eggs individually frozen in your Ziploc bag. Once we use the electricity, obviously that's all going to thaw and you lose your eggs. But in the meantime, if we have got electricity till say at least January, it'll get us through the Christmas period with eggs to eat in the meantime. And of course, if they've come from frozen, you can still fry them and do anything else you'd normally do with them. So it's the basics I'm trying to cover at the moment. Eggs is a staple for us. And if we're going to begin to not be able to get them in the shops or not be able to afford them because the price has rocketed, I've tried to preempt that a little today and work out how I'm going to store them, how I'm still going to have them available. Okay, if there's anything else along those lines that you're thinking of and doing, something I haven't mentioned at all, prick my conscience, give me things to think about because we're all in this at the moment and we're all thinking which direction am I going in, what kind of things do I need to stock up on or learn how to preserve in some way. So I've still got it available. Nice talking to you today and I'll see you soon. Bye.